Melbourne, off to Australia next. I spoke to them last week. I'm surprised I've got any voice. 4 hours, 4+ hours talking to THI Germany, and 3+ hours Australia. Saturday or Friday, I've lost count now. But they're now crying there's a second wave of the virus, and the entire city of Melbourne has just been ordered back into lockdown for another 6 weeks. But for 3,000 people living in public housing tower blocks, an even stricter lockdown was imposed last Saturday. Now, unlike the rest of people in Melbourne, residents of 9 towers have been told they cannot leave for any reason and are now subject to a police guard 24/7. And it's the toughest lockdown seen in Australia so far. Now, the detention directions in suburbs of Flemington and North Melbourne are designed to contain a cluster of infections, it is said, that was found in some of the buildings. And then suddenly, hundreds of police were sent to the sites immediately after the order was announced live on TV by Victoria's Premier Daniel Andrews. And many residents were caught unaware, and when they tried to leave the building, they were stopped. And for many, as the news of the confinement spread, alarm and panic followed. And an official letter distributed to residents said that the lockdown would last for between 5 and 14 days. And the majority of residents have limited income and come from non-English speaking backgrounds. Many of them are migrants who arrived as refugees from African nations, Vietnam, and also China. And there are many young families and pensioners contained within those tower blocks. This has all the hallmarks of a staged event, in my opinion. And just because they're migrants and from somewhere else shouldn't make a difference, because this is how they do these live events, which are training events for something else. So, whilst it may not be the normal residents of Melbourne, you have to take an interest and go and defend those people, because they'll do it to you next. This is how they formulate the false flag events, by doing these live action things, making it real when actually it's not. Well, it's real for the people in the tower. And it's all designed to scare the public and enforce further lockdowns. Why are they enforcing further lockdowns? Because there's not enough money operating in the pot. And here's an example of why. Nearly 1/3 of American families have been unable to make full housing payments for July, of which a new survey has revealed, as the US economy struggles to bounce back from the crushing Novavirus losses. They were going to lose anyway. Like we warned before it all started, everything was collapsing. 12,000 businesses went bankrupt in the first 3 weeks of this year. And for proof of that, go and look at the January transcripts. We warned of it. Now, the survey by Apartment List, an online rental platform, found that 32% of US households did not make their full payments in July on time, and it marked the 4th month in a row with historically high number of households that were unable to make payments on time or in full, which was up from 30% in June and 24% in April. So, having covered the virus stuff, we're going to go into some other news shortly. But in another Zoom call recently with THI Oregon, which was a lot of fun as well, something was mentioned during that call, and we discussed on whether setting up a website and selling certain items on that website, which would go to TPC Oregon and in part TPC itself. And one of the things that came up was light bulbs, but these are not ordinary light bulbs. These are titanium coated light bulbs. And so I kind of looked into it and to see what it was all about. And this was on the website reporting back on what these bulbs do. And it says they are a revolutionary new technology that eliminates persistent odors and biological contaminants and pollutants while providing energy efficient lighting. All sounds so good. And then this next bit is why I've brought this up. According to the EPA, the air inside your indoor environment may be up to 8 times more polluted than the air outside. Oops. Indoor biological contaminants and pollutants in the air can trigger environmental illness and other health problems. Whilst most deodorizing products mask odors with harmful petrochemical perfumes. Oops. And they told us to go inside. When their EPA government department says your indoor environment may be up to 8 times more polluted than outside. Do you still think lockdowns were a smart move? Or is it part of a fascist regime of controlling the people, thinkers, and bots alike?